If you build business tools with Airtable or Softer, you already know how incredibly easy it is to set up linked records, lookups, and rollups. But what happens when your app scales? When you cross tens of thousands of records, or you need complex relational data logic, native no-code databases start to hit a bottleneck. At that point, everyone looks to migrate to a proper relational database like Postgres. And the biggest question we get at that point is, how do we recreate the magic of these lookups and rollups when my backend is now Supabase, for instance? Welcome to the channel. I am Kalai from AppGrape and I'm going to show you exactly how to bridge that gap. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, let's build a quick client invoicing dashboard in Softer. And let's do that in two ways, using native database tables available within Softer as well as Postgres database like Supabase. I'm going to show you how easy it is to rip the backend from Softer, replace it with Supabase, and recreate the dynamic functions of lookups and rollups using SQL views and functions. It may sound a bit complicated, but trust me, it's very simple, and I'll demonstrate exactly how to build it using a very simple use case. Let's start with the standard no-code approach. I'm going to pull up a new project in Softer. Let's go into the data here. Imagine this is a consultancy agency which manages a lot of clients and raises invoices to them. Naturally, I have created two simple tables which are called clients and invoices. And in the clients, all that I have is the details of every client that the agency works with. In the fields, we have simple text fields for display name and full name, an email column, and a billing address. Of course, you can have additional relevant columns like tax IDs or state codes or whatever else that's required to raise invoices or know about the client. And in the invoices section, I've listed all of the invoices that we have raised so far, the date in which the invoice was raised, what amount it was raised for, and also the status whether it is paid, unpaid, or overdue. So I'm going to add a related record called client. It's going to link each of our invoices to the client it was raised for. So in the related table, let's choose our clients table. I'm going to disallow linking to multiple records. That way we know that each of the invoices are uniquely linked to a specific client. And I'm going to say save. And for additional lookup fields, I'm going to skip. Let me populate the associated clients for these invoices. Right, so we have the clients field populated now. We can go back and check in our clients table. The invoices is automatically backlinked from the invoices table. So let me add a quick lookup field here. Even though we have the invoice serial numbers backlinked, I'm going to have the invoice numbers backlinked as well. So in the lookup source, I'm going to choose the invoices table and choose the invoice number as the lookup field. Now quickly we have these invoice numbers available here. As a business, let's say I am more interested in knowing what are the unpaid balances or overdue balances each client owes me. I'm going to use a rollup field where I'm going to populate the overall unpaid balance or overdue balance for each of the clients. So let's say for the unpaid balance, I'm going to roll up and look for the invoices table. And in the invoices table, I'm going to choose the amount field and sum it all. Filtering that I'm going to do is add a condition where the status is unpaid. And I'm going to save it. The unpaid balance rollup is ready. Let's recreate one more time for the overdue one. Again, I'm going to choose the amount and sum it. I'm going to say status is overdue. So I'll save that. And now we have both the unpaid balance and overdue balance that's owed by every client we work with. I'm going to build a very simple dashboard to display the information that we have in the rollups. Let's go to the interface. I have a skeleton of a dashboard already ready, but I'm going to show you exactly how I built it and how to configure this to display the relevant information. So in this particular container, I have 4 different columns. In the first column, let's link the Softer database, which is the rollup demo we just created. and I'm going to link the clients table we already have. And in the content section, I am going to use a metric card. Let's say I want to display the total unpaid balance as of now. So I'm going to sum the unpaid balance in the clients table. I can see that that number is getting reflected here. Perfect. And let's do the same thing for the overdue balance as well. So in the software database, I've linked the clients table that we just created. And in the content, in the metric card, I'm going to sum the overdue balance, and once I do that, we get the total unpaid and total overdue balance that we are entitled to at this point. Now in the next container, again I've divided this into 4 different columns, and in here what I'm interested in is to identify the client I need to follow up with. So I want to see who is the client who owes me the largest sum of money in terms of unpaid balance or overdue balance. I've created a list block for this. It's the same clients table that I've linked here. In the default sort, I'm going to sort the unpaid balance in descending order. I'm going to also say that the items per page is just 1. This basically is a quick hack, right? We have arranged the clients in descending order of unpaid balance and we are displaying the top one. So that would correspond to the highest unpaid client. And in the content, what I've done is I've only used the display name because I just want to know who this client is. I've not used any other details that belongs in the list block. I've removed the search bar. I've also removed any kind of in-app filters that comes associated with the list block. So that way I have the highest unpaid client here. And in the highest overdue client with the same data source, I'm going to say the highest overdue balance in descending order and put the items per page is 1. Exactly the same that we did for the highest unpaid client, but now for the highest overdue. Once that is fixed, we have the highest overdue client reflected here as well. And I'm going to add a quick clients table. I'm going to use the same clients table as the data source. Let's sort it by overdue balance in descending order, and in the content section, let's have the display name and the contact email. In case you want to follow up with someone, it's really handy to have the email addresses displayed here. And for the unpaid balance, let's choose the unpaid balance column here, and for the overdue balance, let's choose the overdue balance column here. In the actions tab, when we open the details page, I have also created a client's details page so that when we click the open button here, it opens in a modal. And this is the client's details page. I've linked the same clients table as the data source. And in the content, in the top section, I just have the name, email, and address. And in section 1, let's have the full name, invoices. So I'm going to display the invoice numbers that we just have linked as lookup in the client table. We have the tax ID and state code. And of course, let's also link up the unpaid balance and the overdue balance. Let's go back to home and link that up in the open hover button. What I'm also interested in doing is having a quick invoices page here. I'm going to link the invoices table that we have and default sort it by the invoice amount or maybe the invoice date, new to old, that makes sense. And in the content, let me say I'll use the invoice number. So the client would be client, the invoice date, amount, and status. So I'm going to choose client as the in-app filter and also the status as in-app filter because I think that's very useful to have. Let's quickly preview how this looks. So we have 2 summary cards that shows us exactly what unpaid balance and overdue balance is as of now, and we have the client details, and we also have a simple clients table which opens the details in a modal. So this is a preview and this will work well once it's published. And the invoices page that we just created, we have the list of invoices from new to old. Now that we've demonstrated how easy it is to use lookups and rollups in native software tables and use that information to project relevant data on our dashboard, I'm going to also show you how easy it is to do the same thing when you have Supabase as your backend. In the Supabase account, I have a table called clients for software, and this table is exactly identical to the clients table we just created in software, right? So it has this display name, full name, contact email, billing address, tax ID, and state code. Nothing has changed. We also have an invoices table. Again, exactly identical to what we had in Softer, just has the invoice numbers here, invoice date, and here I've linked the client ID as the foreign key, the amount and status. This is very simple to set up. If you really require the code to set these tables up in SQL, I'll provide that information in the description below. The only thing that we have to now do is write an SQL function for viewing. So let's go to the SQL editor, and this is the function that we are going to use. This function is also available in the description for you. We are creating a view called client summary for Softer. And what we are going to do in the client summary is we are going to use the clients table and join it with the invoices table we have, because they are both linked by the client ID. The syntax for that is from the clients table left join invoices table on client ID. The next thing that we want to do is we want to group by the client ID and not by the invoice ID or any other thing. We want to do a coalesce sum, and we filter where status is unpaid, and we can also do the same thing where status is overdue. You just have to select the whole thing and say run selected, and once it's run, what we end up with is a table called client summary for Softer. Now I say table, but this is not truly a table. Data is not getting stored here. This is simply a view. In this particular view, we have not just the client details in terms of display name, full name, contact email, billing address, but we also have the sum of unpaid balances and overdue balances. Now this is very similar to how rollups worked in Softer, right? But instead of choosing it from the UI, what we have done is now written an SQL function. A view in Postgres is not actually a physical table. It doesn't store any data itself. Instead, it acts as a virtual table or a save query if you want. So whenever your Softer front end or any API call asks to look at this particular view that we created called client summary, Postgres instantly runs the underlying select command that we just wrote as a function. And this happens in the background. It reads the absolute latest rows from clients and invoices and calculates the sum for these balances, and it hands the fresh result back to Softer. So there are no webhooks or no make or Zapier automations required, or there is no delayed syncing that's required to keep these summary cards accurate. All that we need to do at this point is change the data source from Softer to Supabase tables, and instead of using the client table, we'll use the client summary view. So what we're going to do is duplicate the home page we have into home copy, and in the home copy, instead of using the Softer tables as the data source, I'm going to link the Supabase table that we just created, and in the table we're using the view client summary that we just created. The rest of it is literally identical, and in the action section, whenever we click open, I'm going to use a client details copy, which is again a copy of the client details page. Let me quickly show that the client details copy. In the table, we have the client summary view, and using all of the details that we have in the client summary view. All of the copy pages that we have created use Supabase as the backend, and all of the original ones just stay the same. Let's quickly review how this looks. Let's go to home copy, and I'm previewing this now. Home copy is hosted in home Supabase. See the unpaid balance, overdue balance, the highest unpaid, everything is identical. Let's quickly compare. Let's go to home, which uses the Softer tables now. It's the same numbers, same tables. Let's check what happens when you interact with this data. Let's add a record to our invoices and see what happens. Let's say I'm going to raise a new invoice to the amount of $100,000 to JLL. Let me add that, and once we add that and go to home, the unpaid balance is already reflected. Let's see what happens when we use the Supabase one. So let's go to the invoices Supabase. I'm going to literally add the same record here, 100,000 for our client JLL for today. Let's say our invoice number is something like that, and I'm going to say this is unpaid. The $100,000 invoice is reflected here. Let's go to home Supabase and refresh this. And there we go. The unpaid balance is reflected here. And there it is. The exact same user experience, the same dashboard. but entirely powered by a robust enterprise-grade Postgres backend. So this way you don't have to be limited by the no-code record limit. You can scale freely without sacrificing the speed of front-end development. Now moving from native databases to relational backends can seem intimidating in the beginning, but once you master the simple SQL views and functions, there is really no limit to what you can build. If your business is currently hitting a wall with its current setup and internal tools, or if you want to build a custom scalable solution from ground up, we are more than happy to help you with it at AppGrape. You can always book a free discovery call with us to see what solutions we can offer. Please let me know in the comments if this tutorial was helpful to you, and let me know if you have any further questions or comments. Subscribe for more architecture deep dives and custom solutions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.